But housing is only one piece of the puzzle. The deeper issue is where Britain puts its money, and for decades the answer was simple: London. When most people visit London, they complain about the tube and the poor infrastructure. Clearly, these people haven't been to other parts of the country. If you look at transport investment in the UK, London takes the cake. The city gets nearly £1,200 per person. Compare that to the Northeast at just £430 and the East Midlands at £350. Even the Southeast, the closest region, barely gets half what London gets. To put it in perspective, if the North had been funded at the same per-person rate as London, it would have seen an extra £140 billion of investment. That's the equivalent of building 7 Elizabeth lines. To make matters worse, Britain underspends on transport compared to its peers. OECD data shows that the UK put just 0.3% of GDP a year into roads between 1995 and 2020. Compare this to Italy at 0.4%, Germany and the US at 0.5%, and France at over 0.6%. The tragedy is that this underinvestment makes Britain's cities less productive. With weak road and rail links, cities outside London have far less effective size. Fewer people can commute in, fewer jobs are connected, less growth is possible. A unique data point that encapsulates the problem is that the UK is pretty much the only place in Western Europe where city size does not correlate strongly to economic productivity. The poor infrastructure is a critical driver of this, and it's not just transport. The same neglect shows up in R&D. R&D expenditure is heavily concentrated in higher productivity, higher income locations, ergo London. In 2016, the government spent just £21 per person on R&D in the north of England and £14 in the Midlands. In London, it was £60. This creates a reinforcing loop. More R&D means London firms grow faster, which attracts more private capital, which funds even more R&D. Moreover, Britain is the outlier. Germany's poorer regions, the smaller bubbles on this graph, receive more public R&D support. In the UK, it's the opposite. The outcome is obvious. The places that need support the most are left with scraps, and Britain's R&D policy ends up deepening inequality instead of fixing it. Now, there is merit to prioritizing government R&D investment into areas where there is business R&D investment, but that isn't even what the UK is doing. In fact, areas like London receive more government R&D support relative to the amount of business R&D in the region, whilst the rest of the UK receives less. Put simply, businesses outside of London are being deprioritized in favor of those in London. Just another reason the UK revolves around London and the quality of life is deteriorating.